Hey everyone, I'm Akshay back with a new tutorial in Maya. Today we're gonna learn take some renders for our personal works. And for this, we're gonna adopt a semi product lighting setup. And firstly, I gotta show you my setup. It's simple as this. I got a backdrop with a ramp running on it. And my fancy little object, I got a stand with a blend and about a 0.068 reflectivity. And in this blend, I have no reflection. When it comes to the inner ball, I got a Lambert with a little bit of glow intensity. And a Lambert to hold the ramp in there. Let's get to the first camera view. And I hit a render. Without any lighting, just mental ray. So this is the output I get right now. Let's get to the lighting. For this, I'm going to create a key light first, and for that I'm going to grab a directional light. So let me scale up the directional light for each selection and fix the position. So the light direction is going to hit from this angle. And my camera view, I'm going to toggle 7 to see my lights. So here, I just take a render. Not bad. I switch on my ray trace shadow. For my attribute, I'm gonna crank my shadow color a bit lower. I don't want it to be like a jet black or something too dark. And my basic setup for my ray trace shadow attributes like light angle are up to 8, shadow ray is 35, ray depth limit I go for 15. And I go for region render. So I'm actually not happy with the noise happening with my shadows, which I can fix later. I first want to fix the overall look. For this, I'm gonna select an area light, so acting like a fill light in here. I'm gonna scale up the value, scale up the size of the area light. Fix its position somewhere here. Check top view. Yes. And in my camera view, I'm gonna hit the render now. The region render. I'm sure my scene is gonna blow up like this. To fix that, I'm gonna grab my area light and give its intensity 0.2. Let's try this now. Yeah, not bad. And I like this light happening here. It looks like a fancy card. And now I take it on my render settings. So I'm happy with this thing right now. I'm like okay with this. So for a good option. Under my test resolution render, I'm gonna go to my HD, mental ray, HD. Some things we're gonna take care of here is resolution. Like this is the same resolution thingy applied like in Photoshop. We go for the 72 web page resolution, 300 for personal works. I normally prefer 300, which gives a decent quality when we zoom your picture. And under quality, I go for production quality. And under lighting, I check on my final gather with the default settings on. Because what final gather will actually try to bounce my lights up and down in random directions and give a pretty decent render. So let me render my camera 1. So here is my render now. I'm gonna save this as JPEG image. Desktop. Fancy ball. Save the picture. Select my objects. And under my render layers, I'm gonna click this last button right here, that tells actually create new layer and assign selected objects. I'm gonna hit in there. So when I go there, I have this selected with no light. I can press 5 or 6. Yeah, why this happens? Because there's no lights, and that's why when I hit 7, it's gonna go dark. And purpose of creating this layer is I'm gonna take a ambient occlusion or normal occlusion. Right click there, go to attributes, presets, occlusion. And in my camera view, I've got a couple of things to do. That is in the out color, I'm gonna increase my samples to 64. 64 is a decent value to start with. And we gotta take care of this maximum distance, max distance. For that, I'm gonna go to display, heads up display. I'm gonna turn on my object details. In here, I got my distance from camera. When I hit on my objects right here, I got a distance, the distance from camera to the object. So under surface, shader and occlusion node, max distance, well, I'm gonna apply the same value here, 42.729, and try a render. Well, I'm happy with my occlusion path, so let's get it photoshopped a bit. Now it's time for compositing. I'm gonna grab my occlusion paths render and drop them to my color paths. To blend this, I'm gonna switch it to multiply, so I actually get the darker tone on all the edges here. Take a look. And I can also reduce the fill a little bit so that it's actually not so dark enough, and trying to fill value down. So now I got some pretty decent one, and a little opacity down. Yeah. And there's another way to fake my rim lights here. I'm gonna Ctrl J, copy my color paths, go to filter, render, now stylize. I'm gonna go to glowing edges. I have my edges glowing all over the places like this. So I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna hold Ctrl Shift U to desaturate it and screen it to blend black. So I get this sort of a small effect here on all the edges. I get a small effect, like the shine is happening all over the place. So to blend this, I'm gonna go to blur, Gaussian blur, and blur a little, and getting reducing fill so that I have the overall decent looking render. So this is how I basically or personally render my things out. So I hope this tutorial is helpful for you guys. I'll come with new tutorials. Until then, see ya, bye.